Good afternoon, Academy 55. David Card here on Wednesday, the 30th of October, 2024. It's now 13:25, 25 minutes past 1 here in the UK. And we're looking at the US 100, also known as the Nasdaq 100, on the 1 minute time frame with our UK Academy 55 indicators and strategy. The reason we're on this time of the day is because we know in another 5 minutes, volume will increase for the US 100 because the New York Stock Exchange will open. It's usually 2:30 UK time, but because of daylight saving hours, it is now 1:30 just for this week. Next week, we'll be back to 2:30. So we are going to be looking at the and waiting for price to go into the zones. Here we have I'll put it on the 5 minute time frame. Here we have it on, this is what it looks like. This is in balance, drawn up on the 4 hourly. This is the buy zone. And this is the sell zone. We got important support and resistance lines drawn up here, as always, on the 4 hourly and the hourly. And now we are looking. Now, interestingly, if this was to happen for a buy in the next 2 or 3 minutes, I wouldn't be taking that because, like I said, volume kicks in, be 2 or 3 times more volume than this, and it could easily go dive down into there. It might actually, I fully understand it might actually go up, but and more often than not, it probably stays more or less where it is until 1:30, till the volume actually kicks in. But we will see. We will see. On the 5 minute time frame, we have reasons for price to get up to these areas here because of these imbalanced areas that we can see. But we have a big reason for it to go down also, so it's not really telling us a great deal like that. We have to be governed by the indicators and have a little bit of trust in the indicators that we will be seeing what we see. But in all reality, it could be brewing for a bit of a buy now, as we can see, or not, as the case may be. If it's a sell, it's going to continue on as the selling, so there's no trade. But if it's a buy, and after 1:30, you never know, we might just get ourselves a buy if all the indicators, and because we will be having two or three more size of volume, I would suggest that we could see things happen very, very quickly. Could do. Like I say, we will see because we've got another 2 minutes to go, and 9 times out of 10, you will visibly see these candles maybe get like certainly bigger than what they are now as the volume kicks in, as the New York Stock Exchange opens. So we'll see what happens, I guess. But it looks like, well, to me at the moment, it looks like they've come to an area down here and they're going to be buying from there. That's what I think will happen, but we'll see. I shouldn't say that really because I might be made out to be wrong. So I tend not to do that too much. But we got another 15 seconds and then it will kick in the volume. You'll see it visibly with the candle going like this and all that carry on. But we are governed by what happened. We see on the there we go. It's jumping up and down already. Right, we're at 130 now. Are we going for a deeper sell, or indeed are we going to be buying? Here we go for a deeper sell, no problem. Sort of stabilizing at the moment, which is quite rare, really. You usually see it shoot off one way or another. Of course, you can still do that. It might just be a little bit of a delay. But in fact, we are going for a deeper sell, or are we? We're settling down a bit. We still might be going for a buy. Finger on the buy button just in case. See how the one the candle was like at least twice as big as the previous candles because the volume is kicking in now. It's good that they're settling down a bit. That's quite unusual for New York Stock Exchange opening, really. Usually it shoots off one way or the other. So, but in from my point of view, I like it like this, where it settles down a bit and then decides where it wants to go, and then we hopefully plot a steady course. This time of day is usually opportunistic trading, more opportunistic than the rest of the day, should I say. I'm going to revert back to the trading view, a little bit more of a story to be told here. Like I say, we've just tapped into that imbalance a little bit. And we're in the middle, no man's land. This is where we would want to be. Get this long position tool. We want to be, if I get it to 20 there, that represents 2 pips. That's really 2,000 units. But this is where we want to be for a buy. We can't activate the sell because the sell's already happened. And that's the sort of scenario we're looking at. But are we going to be going into these imbalances here? Or are we going to go up and sort out these imbalances up here before we do anything else? We don't know. But we're here ready. Looks like we're possibly coming down to these support and resistance lines at least, maybe. We're tapping into this imbalance now all the time. It lasts down there deep into the buy zone. So right. If we go into there, we're in buy zone area, which will be better for us, more confirmation. Perhaps they are. Perhaps there are a lot more buy orders they wish to check out down here before going on. It'll be nice to see price going into the buy zone to give us extra confirmation of indeed a buy if that's what we happens within our time together. But we don't certain. Nice to see so many people on. After I guess one or two of you may be in of watching the budget. We'll if we get into a trade or get a bit of time, we'll look at how the market is reading what's going on budget wise. I mean, a lot of the things that she's talking about already have been factored in already, so it's not going to be a very volatile movement from the price action of the GBP because a lot of the things have been leaked, so we know more or less what's going on. This is just confirmation of that. So I'm guessing not a lot of things should be going. Um, let's have a quick look. Put that one on there and GBP USD. I'll put it on the higher time frame. As we can see, it fell down to about Rachel Reeves started our chancellor started talking about there, and we've had a bit of if they've liked what they've seen so far. Anyway, enough of that. We're on this one here, the US 100. Actually, I could put the GBP one on just for the reason we don't do GBP is because a lot more times than the EUR USD, I found it to be too volatile to work the indicators, and you get a lot smoother ride with the EUR USD. That's why we don't tend to use the GBP USD, but it does work sometimes. But we're all about consistency in trading. That's why we just stick with the EUR USD, not the GBP USD. And the reason we're not doing the EUR USD today is because of red flag Euro news all day in a meeting. So if somebody says something really radical about the EUR, whether it's going to be a good thing or a bad thing, all of a sudden the market will read that and it could spike us out of a trade. But we don't need to do all that because our monthly target is so small, perfectly doable. We don't need to take all these sort of risks and stuff. Over risking, should I say. So that's why I didn't even acknowledge the EUR USD today because of that. Although I haven't had a look myself, I only came onto the internet at 1 o'clock to prepare for today, so I haven't had time to look at the EUR USD. But we'll have a look at that in a minute if we get a chance. But now we are coming into this buy zone area on the we'll concentrate on that because that's what we should be doing. No distractions. Right, as you can see, we are in the buy zone now, which would give us a lot better confirmation for a sell if one was to happen. We've got a lot more imbalance here, and we've got some more of a support and resistance lines to go ahead. But and we got another buy zone down here. Would they be heading for where they think there's more buy orders down here? We don't know. Actually, that's changed, isn't it? It's the new buy zone down there. This one will disappear. If price gets down to here, this one will disappear. But we know we're in buy zone territory now. If it works out for us. Like I say, within our hour together, we get no trade. We get no trade. Just the way it goes. As one never knows. But like I say, we only want 1 or 2 trades a day. What's the latest news say, if anything? Wall Street set for muted open as investors weigh earnings data. So we haven't had a big move, really. I mean, when the volume kicks in, sometimes, believe me, from there it could go all the way down to there. We've seen that many, many times of stock exchange opening. So this is a little bit muted, to be fair. And now it's kicked in that imbalance there. Are they going to turn around? Or are they going to carry on to maybe where they think there's some more buy orders down here to be gathered in? We go there like that. All right. So there, and all the time we are in buy zone territory anyway. Let's put it on the 5 minute time frame. And we got several buy zones down here. So we got several buy orders down here. So we may see a long, long sell, which is unfortunate for us. That's an old one. I'll remove that, which is quite unfortunate for us because obviously we can't operate on that, but that's the way it goes. But are they going to do all this at one go, or are we going to have a bit of a retrace to fill out these imbalances before carrying on? Usually that is the case, but it all very much depends on timing. So we put a line there and also a line there. So they could very well come down and take all these buy orders that they know are down here as stipulated by the buy zones there before carrying on up, or they could carry on up and take out these imbalances. There's a slight imbalance up here as well. We're on the 5 minute time frame because you get a bigger picture of what's going on. And here you can see where I drew up on the minute. So I go back there and just redraw that. It's only come down ever so slightly. This is where we are on the at the moment. We've got to wait for a buy to reach that wave, but the Heikin wave candle is a volume indicator as well, and that's getting bigger and bigger, indicating perhaps, and everything's indicating a deep sell taking place. So perhaps we are going down to here before turning around. And if we put it back on the 5 minute, you can see that's where we are on the minute. So we got to wait for price to knock out that imbalance there, before we would be in any form of trade. Then we want it to get these imbalances here and here, which would be good because that means that we would be way past our 2%. But here is the purple line that price respects. So perhaps it would be prudent to get, when price gets to this line, if we do get a buy on the minute time frame, go back down to the minute, but that is too close. I was going to say when price gets to there, we would be looking to manipulate our stop loss, but that is too close to full. So we got to accept price could very well jump there and head on down again. And if it does that, we've done our 1% because by that time, we can't really put a stop loss there because that space there is just too short to do anything with. It's not enough wriggle room. So we would indeed be at risk of having a 1% loss, but at the end of the day, it's 1%. No big deal. And price could be coming up here to revisit the purple line on the 1 minute time frame to knock out all these imbalances. Nice to see so many people on with me today. Let's have just a little butchers of what's going on with the GBP against the US dollar. Yeah, well, the market is responding quite favorably to the news. Like I said, most of this has been factored in already. I don't want to really use any of the indicators on the GBP because although it does work on all pairs really, I did trade on the GBP USD and I lost a lot more on the GBP USD than the EUR USD because of sometimes GBP can get too volatile against the EUR USD is a lot steadier ship, which is a lot more conducive for new people to learn just one pair, and it's a lot of a it's better to sort of just stick with one pair, get a feel for what one pair can do, and also it was more consistent in backtesting with the EUR USD than the GBP USD because there's not so much volatility. So we could be quite a while here. So I'm going to open the chat. Hang on, let me do that. Oh, I can. Yeah, there we go. So if anybody's got any questions or anything at all what they've seen, please text me a chat, and if I can answer, I certainly will. And in the meantime, I'm going to put my this on. Okay, so here is how to use our indicators. First, we go to our MT4 or MT5. Make sure you've got the trade assistant running and you've got the risk to reward in purple. So you change it to purple, the lot calc in purple, and you've got that all important 1% risk there. Also, you've got your MT4 template, your Academy 55 template running in the background, and when you want to place a trade, you put it on lines, and then you can reverse it here, make sure all that good stuff works. And I like to keep 2 pips away before you enter the buy. So where it says SL21, this works, by the way, this works on EUR USD. On the US 100 it'll be slightly different, but we'll explain that as. On that note, I'm going to stop Evil Twin there because we are getting on towards our wave, and indeed SL2000 is the equivalent to 2 pips. So if you put 2000 in there, we are the equivalent of 2 pips away to give it a bit of wriggle room. And I felt it prudent to stop there because we are motoring on up now. We've been in the buy zone, so indeed we are looking for our next buy alert. And indeed, that's what hopefully that will happen soon, but we don't know. It might be just a bit of a rest before carrying on down. They've already, if I go quickly to here, they've already mitigated this imbalance, as you can see. So I'll get rid of that now so as not to confuse people. We'll remove that. That imbalance has already been mitigated. But we've got other imbalances up here, even on the 1 minute, on the 5 minute. A little wee bit of imbalance up here, look. It needs to be mitigated. When are they going to do that? That's the thing. When are they going to do that? Right, so the volume for a bit more of a buy. I think we might just get ourselves a buy here. Although these are indecision candles, we've had a bit of a break up, indecision. Should we carry on with the buy, lads, or should we turn back down again? The volume ribbon is flattening out a little bit, which is nice. Also, the wave is getting smaller again because the volume for the sell is not so. But just as we seen here, we had the same sort of situation. We had they gained strength and carried on down the sell. We might see it is possible to see the same thing again because don't forget we have got more buy orders below us as well, and it all very much depends on when they want to pick those buy orders up, whether they're going to wait for later on, or are they going to sort out this imbalance here first and then do that, or by that time more news might come in and they might even go higher. Right, we've got a buy alert flashing on and off. I'm sitting here with anticipation that this volume is going to turn green and the trend line is going to turn green very, very quickly. I've got 2,000 units, which is about two I'm gonna have to do it a bit bigger, I think. Lock that in there, and that's where I want my stop loss to be. But I've got a green volume ribbon now. I'm anticipating a green trend. Really, I want price to get up there a bit more. Right, that's enough for me. I'm going to be in for a buy. I'm in for a buy now. So I appreciate the trend line is at 3 o'clock, and that could go green at any second. But when US 100 goes, it really does go. I mean, it's not. I have seen it go and get our 2% within two candles, or even one candle. Really, that's how much volume can be in, and you don't want to miss out on that. So it's anticipatory, this trend line, and if obviously if price gets to here, that trend line would be green, and then obviously that pushes the 2% up even more. Let's see what it's doing on the 5 minute time frame. We've got imbalance down here, so we could very well, it depends on what they want to do. Do they want to tap into this imbalance here, or certainly mitigate that imbalance before carrying on up? Obviously, I hope that we carry on up, but if we get a 1% loss, so be it. It's trading is what it is. I of course have reached my target for the month. So this is all on demo, of course. Oh, we have somebody's written something. What info does Steve Facey writes? What info does the zone indicator work from its volume or of buying, selling at the turn point? The zone indicators are order blocks, basically. When there's enough order blocks, a zone appears. So if you was to do the put the zones on the 1 minute time frame, there would be a lot more zones. But we use the 5 minute because there's a lot more. There's 5 times as much order blocks on a 5 minute as there is on a 1 minute. Sounds obvious to say, but and so therefore we got greater confirmation that price is indeed going into the order blocks for the 5 minute. This is obviously a significant area where we are now because it sort of respected there a little bit earlier on. I'm hoping we'll find enough volume to sort of get up now. But like I say, there are times when it really does go, the US 100, and obviously depending on what side of the fence you're on, whether it's going towards your stop loss, you'll be not very happy, obviously. But it's, like I say, like everything, it's just a 1% loss. but I have 2% within like 3 or 4 candles, and sometimes it takes longer than that. And we have to wait and see. If we get a chance, I will indeed be following the parabolic stars up, but the at the rate of the incline, I don't think they'll. We'll probably get our 2% hopefully before we get a parallel SAR near the entry line because of the rate of the incline it is at. But if it does, I'll be putting my stop loss to my entry if we get that far to protect my equity. But at the end of the day, it's just 1%. Hope that answered your question, Steve. Was that okay for you, mate? Because I know and we know there are more orders down below here, buy orders, but it's all about timing, what they wish to do first. We're just following the fingerprints of what we see. You're welcome, Steve. To give it a bit of wriggle room is because like I say, US 100 more than EUR USD. Once it within one candle, it can go quite a way, one way or the other. So it's even more important to give US 100 wriggle room. But we are indeed at the parabolic SAR is indeed on the and I'm happy to protect my equity and just leave it like that now. I've got a risk-free trade. If it comes down, see the risk is it could come down and take me out and then go that way again, but that's fine. No big deal to me. Protecting your equity is more what I'm about and what I'd like to do. Of course, what I'd like to do really, because I mean this area here, just underneath the take profit, that was quite a significant area because of the hang on. Well, I've got the trade there anyway, so I'll go I'll go back on trading view. Ah, right. As you can see, we are at this support and resistance line here now. And we are indeed, our 2% is just up here. And we got imbalance just on this candle here, which is above our 2% line. So hopefully we'll have a good outcome. But sometimes even if we got imbalance, this one here, yeah. So hopefully we'll tap into it and just have a look. There we go. Now I can raise that a little bit. All right, up to there now. Just in case it goes down, I've got $379 on a $100,000 account. Just in case it decides to come down. It'll be unfortunate being that near to the 2%, but that's okay, no problem. I've got a little bit of money for my time, only 0.34%, but a profit's a profit, and I'm protecting my equity. We'll see, because once the parabolic SAR is flipped over the other side, it could be quite a while dancing around up there until it decides to come back up again, if it decides to come back up again. And obviously, while it's taking all that time, other factors could be coming into play with as far as the US 100 is concerned. Come on, a little bit more volume. That's all we need is a little bit more volume. Oh, right. In the meantime, I'm going to raise that a bit now. Now I've got 697 US dollars for a $100,000 account. Again, so I've got something for my time being here and doing what we're doing, which is what we're here for, is to earn money at the end of the day, just not to be clever people and say, well, you touch there and touch there. If you've got yourself a double stop loss and all that, bit pointless. Right, okay, so if it does change his mind on this area here, right, I can raise that now to just underneath that parallel SAR. Now I've got $909. The last little bit is the worst. I don't like to see that, but it is what it is. But at the same time, if it swoops down, I've got $909 in the bag, so that's fine. And indeed, it could come down here and then swoop on up again, which is fine also. I've got no problem with that. Getting ready to 5 seconds, the parallel SAR will go up again, and I will put it underneath there again, so I'll get even a bit more. There. Now I've got $1,104 if it decides not to carry on up and swoop on down, which is fine. Got a little bit of money for my time, and indeed, that could happen. Of course, it could happen. Come on, a little bit more volume, please, for a little bit more of it, so we can get our 2%. But obviously, this area here is they are finding a investors have maybe said, can we get in or get out of this area here? Maybe. We don't know. Oh, it's flipped. Right. I'm going to still keep it there though. And if it comes up again, it could go and envelop that parallel. So I'm going to keep it there anyway. My stop loss is going to be kept there. I might actually decide to close now. No, I didn't need to. Hey, there we go. So a 2% win. Uh, there we go. So what I do now is I will delete that and I will go over to I'll show you what I'm doing. Just bear with me a minute. Right, so this is my journal. Oh no, that's August, right? October. As you can see, I've already achieved my 10%. So what I do now is I will get the link, copy link, go back to the journal, put it in there, trade image, paste. The pair, well, it wasn't a pair, but it's commodity, but that's the US 100. The time was 1 till 2, or yeah, or 1 to 2, and the date was, today's date is the what's today's date? It's the 30th of the 10th, 24. That comes a lot like that, and it was a buy, and it won 2%. There we go. So that is all added on. So now I've got 12%. So far this month, we've taken 11 winning trades, 7 losing, and total win rate is 61%. Not bad at all. And most of them were without the zones. So notice because the top half of this journal is all about my live trades before I get the target. So 10%. And the bottom half is use this area below for training purposes using a demo account after I've achieved my target already. So I've done that, but that's added on down to there, and it shows you I've now got 12% all in all. So that's that. I've got something in chat. Anne says, nice work. You're welcome, Anne. So business as usual tomorrow. Back on the EUR USD tomorrow morning at 5 to 8. And I guess we'll see you then. So cheers for now, everybody. Bye for now. Bye.